Hi, this is Cheney Moore with EOS Writer. We're back with another EOS Writer podcast, and I'm joined today with Hernan Arber. Uh, Hernan has a deep experience with EOS. He founded EOS Israel, a community effort to bring those together within the EOS community that live and reside around Israel, as well as the mobile design for the voice platform for a while. And so, Hernan, we welcome you here today. Please tell us a little bit more about yourself.
Thanks, JB. Thanks for having me. I really love all Cryptowriter and EOSWriter content. Well, I was actually in charge of the mobile development, so I practically pretty much built the teams iOS and Android. I'm an engineer myself. I've been developing from .NET to mobile apps for over 15 years, 10 years in the tech space, in the entrepreneur space. I founded EOS Israel back then when I saw all the EOS outlets popping out, and I asked myself, oh, that's cool. What are the EOS Israel guys doing? And I understood that there was none, so I decided to build it myself. And that led me to be kind of the focal point for everyone. At first, wanting to know how to take their EOSD20 EOS into a real wallet, but eventually to build a connection with the community that really hold dear to me, because it's what led me to really connect to all the people on EOS, and eventually got me also working at Voice, which I'm still a part of the team just as an advisor, which allows me to work on the project that we're going to talk about today.
Great. I'm glad you contacted us to discuss this project. It's a good one. One of the things that EOS has definitely struggled with over the last almost 3 years now is getting good funding for projects. And you mentioned specifically in your article, we talked a little bit about EOSVC. If you've been in the EOS space for any given amount of time, some of the community's love-hate relationship with the so named EOSVC and the problems that have arisen from that, and that we haven't really had a dedicated EOS mainnet platform to help build projects directly related to EOS. And it looks like you're going to take that upon yourself to try to get that. Why don't you tell us a little bit about EOSTARTER?
Oh, well, thank you. It's not only upon myself, right? I'm putting together a team of very talented people, but I'll get into those details later. Yes, EOSTarter is the basic idea is a full 360 incubator and launchpad for EOS projects, and that doesn't mean that the tokens that will be launched are only on EOS. I'll get more into how we're going to build that as a multi-chain launchpad later, but we're trying to solve two issues. One of them is the one that you mentioned, which is the access to funding, which kind of most of the community was kind of putting all their hopes on EOSDC to see EOS mainnet products being launched, and that didn't happen. And I'm not here, of course, to place blames, and I'm not claiming to be able to manage funds better than Block One. What I'm willing to say is that we do need a platform that states clearly that we are only taking in and funding projects that are committed to build on the EOS mainnet. And that was a simple statement, but it's something that I think we were missing. The other aspect that is critical that I think I see as a very important aspect to tackle is the access to liquidity, right? So we've seen most of EOS mainnet projects being launched and being pretty much constrained to trading on Mudex, and it's pretty much it, which has led them to have, orders of magnitude less market cap valuation that their similar competitors in other platforms like Ethereum or Binance Chain. So I think we're trying to change that by providing multi-chain liquidity for the EOS projects that will be building with us.
Great. Yeah, both of those things are have been lacking. The commitment to EOS, the funding for EOS, and then the guidance. You mentioned that the funding is only one part of the services that you plan to provide. So, as an incubator, that's typically involves more than just money. So what are the other services that you plan on providing for these new, fresh projects that are coming to you?
So my vision, right? We're building this as a team, and this is not something that we can provide all the services that I'm planning to provide through EOSTARTER. But my vision for EOSTARTER is to be able to provide from the initial advisory on how to build the project, how to work through an MVP, how to get to their main product, and how to build their strategy, both technologically wise and market and go-to-market strategies. But also, we are providing them this technological layer of launching their token sale through on-chain compliance, hopefully, that we're going to integrate into that. And we also are going to set up the projects for success in all aspects. So if they need, more help in community building, so we're going to also expose them to the community, get them awareness, help them out with public outreach, and even with development, because we are also planning on building a strong development arm that can, come in and help the team to get them started. So the bottom line is that we want to bring in what I see that we're missing during this cycle on EOS, which is innovation, basically. New entrepreneurs, new developers, new people that are excited to build on EOS, that understand how to identify the potential behind the EOS technology, and they want to come, build a home here on the EOS mainnet.
Great. So those are a lot of services that some projects that I'm aware of that tried to launch over the last few years and may not have survived could have used. And so it'll be a boon for EOS and the community. So we've talked a little bit about what you're going to provide for those projects. What is the plan for engaging or involving the existing EOS community today? I saw mention of a TART token or a as you show in there, a $ TART token. Tell us a little bit about how one, maybe you think you will provide those tokens to the community, and two, what those tokens mean for the holders of the token.
So let's split into two parts. Before we get into the token, let's get into how are we going to engage the community and the existing EOS community. This comes as a built-in process for EOSTARTER, because this is going to be a community-powered incubator, and this is going to also be a community-governed incubator, which means that we are going to be governed through Eden OS. So that is going to be not only our governance mechanism, the new Eden OS that Dan Larimer's proposing, and I'm already a member of, and I hope a lot of more people join in. But that is going to be like essentially our governance mechanism. We're starting by presenting projects into Eden OS for support, all the way up to every basic decision and parameter in the platform. But that's going to be expanded by stages. Also, what we're going to charge as part of the fees for the sales are coming back to the community through Eden OS. So that's a plan for getting the community involved and making it clear that this is a community-powered project, that like we're all involved. It's very important for me that that this is something that we all benefit from as a community. So that's why I'm bringing in people mainly from the community, and I'm open always for suggestions and people that want to join us. So that's regarding the engagement. Now the TAR token, or with the $sign, it reads start. It's kind of tasty twitch to the token that is going to fairly distribute the allocations that we give to the projects. So, for example, because we're not going to use the TAR token for governance, because the token that will be used for governance is EOS, since it's going to be governed by Eden OS. What the TAR token does is it determines what the allocation you have for invested into a particular project will be. That is determined not only by the amount of tokens that you have, but also by the time you've been staking it in our platform. So you can have very few, little tokens, but you've been staking it from the start, then you'll probably get, a larger allocation than someone that just came in with a bunch of tokens yesterday, right? So that we're going to figure out a good formula to distribute them fairly into, we want to incentivize long-term investors, both in the EOS projects that we believe in and of course in us. And we're also going to provide a lot of benefits to token holders, like NFT airdrops and a lot of different access tiers in the different projects. So I think that is going to be super interesting. So I'm looking forward to this. I'm very, very excited. And we are going to also find a way to accurately distribute the token to people who are interested in participating. So this is not going to be a general airdrop to everyone who just holds EOS in their wallets. We want to really engage the people that are interested in investing in these types of pre-sale launches.
Okay, great. So going back just briefly to Eden and utilizing Eden to expand upon the project's success and commitment and involvement, and then vice versa, putting those tokens or part of those project successes back into Eden. That's great. Don't forget to potentially leverage Pomelo or the crowdsourcing platform as well. I think that'd be another key initiative to help out there that you could utilize to boost the new projects coming in.
For sure. I've been talking to Daniel, and I think we can find a lot of synergies with Pomelo. First of all, it's important to distinguish between
the projects. Yeah, totally different.
A lot of people tell me, hey, aren't EOS Nation and EOS Asia building this with Qualcomm? So first of all, Pomelo is it's very different in terms of the concept, the basis for it, which is based on Gitcoin. And this is supposed to provide funding to new kind of projects that are supposed to be public goods, right? Just a minute.
Good night, buddy. Got to put the kids to bed.
Yeah, he just arrived from school, and I haven't seen him in a while because I'm fully on the project. But after this interview, I'm giving some one-on-one time with my son. Anyway, we were in.
So basically, you're right that Pomelo is a crowdsourcing platform, usually for the better good of the EOS community.
Yeah, I give you a great example. For example, Ami, my friend, he's translating the Moricon animals to Hebrew, right? Mm-hmm. So Pomelo would be a great platform for him to say, hey, listen, I'm doing all this effort and spending this time translating the book. I would like to get some funding from Pomelo for this effort. That would be a great example of something you could do in Pomelo, but he would find nothing to do on EOSTARTER, right? The other way around, a project that wants to launch a token and is building on the EOS mainnet, they can leverage all the tech stack that we're going to build in terms of multi-chain liquidity, access to pre-made the whole format for the token sale. That maybe Pomelo is not that of a platform, and we can always find synergies. For example, a project can go to Pomelo and say, hey, listen, we want some funding to get us to the point, right, to help us build a white paper, to help us build a POC, to build the first, to create kind of the first tranche, and to get us ready for a token sale that we would want to launch on EOSTARTER.
Yeah, so one could easily argue that any projects built on EOS and utilizing EOS mainnet are for the betterment of EOS. So it shouldn't be a problem finding those synergies. You mentioned so it won't be airdropped to every EOS holder. You're going to find some mechanism to drop fairly to the people that are interested in the project. That's good. And then you mentioned time slash staked based TART tokens that you'll stake and you'll lock, and you'll have a timing weight that's associated with those. And what you're doing with that timing weight is allocating the proportion of the token sales. So let's say there's a million tokens for project X, and if I have 5% of the time stake weight tokens, TART tokens locked up, I can buy in this pre-sale 5% of Project X's tokens, or up to 5% of Project
If,
X's tokens.
if you hold the 5% of the stake TAR tokens, yes.
Okay.
For it's weighted by time.
Yeah,
So
and so you're going to give those me as a 5% holder. I think I read 24 to 48 hours to log on and to say yes, I want to buy 3% of my allocation. I may not want to be 5% of this project, and so I'm not in a lottery where I get 5% of tickets, the ability to join in. I have it allocated now. So, question though, what would happen to, let's say everybody gets involved and 75% of the people show up for this project and take 70? What happens to that other 25%? Are you then going to do a lottery for that other 25% of leftover Project X tokens that were not allocated based on the stake time weight?
well, really, that is yet to be determined. The most likelihood is that those tokens are just not going to be sold, and they're going to be repurposed from project. But we might instate another system. But we want to, what we want to do is really transform the Launchpad experience that people are having so far, right? For example, first of all, the lottery tickets you mentioned, it's like the because of the demand of the Launchpad projects, the barrier for access to this guaranteed allocations has come so expensive that only previous whales can really access them, and then newer users are with lesser amount of the Launchpad tokens, they're entering this lottery ticket. But sometimes you go through KYC. You sometimes even have to promote the project just to maybe even win a lottery ticket and get an allocation to give them your money, right? So, so this is no longer going to be the case. So we are going to stay away from lottery tickets. We're going to only provide guaranteed allocations, even if it's a few dollars, right, worth of the allocation. But you're going to have it guaranteed while you're holding TAR tokens. No lottery tickets. The other thing that we're getting rid of is that first come, first serve experience, where you need to be glued to your screen at a certain time, refresh the website as fast as possible, hope that it doesn't fall, that it doesn't crack under the pressure, then try to plunge in your transaction as fast as possible, pull the gas to the maximum. That was the current experience. We don't need that in EOS, but still, all of this in hope that your transaction comes through, because sometimes it's over in a matter of minutes.
They go
so,
quick.
Yeah, and we're gonna do no more first come first serve. You're gonna have a comfortable 1 to 2 day period to claim your allocation, and or forfeit it if that time passes. So we want to provide a really smooth experience, and this comes from a point of view, Cheney, that I think it has been a bit lost with all the frenzy of this, new projects and this pre-market allocations, which is you don't really know who is on the other side of that pre-sale, right? It might be, it might be a person that for him, launching at $1,000, throwing $1,000 into this project, it's a non-event for them, and they can do it and hopefully see what happens. But this $500 or $600 of allocation might be his entry into crypto for the investor that's participating in Launchpad, and he's heard about the success, and he's done his research, and this is his investment, right? So I think we need to be really respectful of the people who are committing their attention and their money to the project that we're trying to build.
Yeah, that's great. I'm going to make a suggestion here on recorded interview here that you take the week before and you ask for people's indication of interest, and those people that are not interested in that project release their allocations to those that have it remaining, so that the people that, let's say I have 5%, but 40% of the people don't have interest in this project, all of a sudden my 5% allocation goes up to 9%, and I have the ability then to buy more tokens for projects I'm interested in, or maybe I get rewarded for just saying, no, I'm not interested this time, and I get 5 extra TART tokens for saying no. So you drive engagement and you drive the people that are interested in those projects, and that way you're not
Definitely.
dealing with a token sale where you have a lot of unallocated tokens that aren't bought up.
Yeah, like a commitment form
Yeah,
prior to.
and you reward people for even responding, even if the response is no. That way you drive the engagement. One of the other things
That's a
interested
great
me,
idea, Cheney, and we're
take
doing
it
this.
take it and run, Hernan. Take it and
Yes.
run. You mentioned in the article syndicate token sales, and this is an interesting proposal. I'll run through it. You can tell me if I'm right. It's basically you're getting existing projects that are good out there today that maybe still have a large balance of tokens on their balance sheet, and maybe need to raise funds, and then perhaps EOSTARTER buys some tokens, and they mix these tokens together and provide them at a discount to the current market to try to incentivize people to get excited and get more involved in these projects. And this is great. You know, people will probably be concerned it could be game, but what you have today, and certainly with as you mentioned, Nudex and DeFi Box and DFS being really the only liquidity markets we have out there for EOS tokens, is you have a lot of really good projects that don't have any depth of book. And so projects can't take their tokens today and sell even maybe 1% of the token supply without just destroying the markets out there. For example, like I have a bunch of High Revive tokens that I've had from day one of the EOS launch.
I like
Good
that.
project. Yeah, good project, but you can't go out there and do anything with those tokens today because there's no one to buy or sell those tokens. So what this allows for is for the project to raise funds, as well as someone to buy a significant amount of tokens without having a 300% inflation to the token price or 50% deflation to token price. So it's a great project, or great initiative, and I hope that works out. It would be a good exposure to certainly new people in EOS to projects they're not aware of.
Yeah, how I would like to see it is we want to give those great EOS projects their day in the light, right? The day in the spotlight, and they really haven't seen them because although I've been all out in the users for Twitter trying to get Binance and other our leading block producers that are also leading exchanges to list those tokens, that hasn't happened. So I really want us to value and help our leading top projects at EOS that are already running, to see that they live and to succeed. So the syndicate sales are going to be also meant for TAR token holders, and what we're going to do is we're going to purchase a bunch of the team's token, the project's tokens. The team itself is going to provide also a part of the pool, and we're going to offer those tokens through our platform at like a very significant discount. I am thinking out of my initial thoughts, even at a 50% discount from the market rate. So that'd be a great entry into great projects on EOS at a cheaper than market rate. And I think this is going to give them great exposure. We are also going to leverage our, once we do those sales, they're going to be deployed into all the multi-chain platforms that we're building the bridges for. And some people might see it as an opportunity to get the tokens cheaper and sell them off. But a lot of people are also going to say, hey, this is a project that I consider very strong and that has strong fundamentals, and this is a great way to act to entry to invest in the project at a lower than market price. So I think that's a great way to view it. And my ideal vision for this is to create new hodlers, new long-term loyal believers of this project through our platform.
Great. So EOS Starters is not doing this as just a community driven initiative and paying for everything out of pocket. It is going to be hopefully a self-sustainable project. What to invest in the project? But what is EOS Starter going to get out of a project looking for this sort of support?
So we're already considering several kind of avenues of income for the business model. One of them is going to be a percentage of fee, informalist fee from the profits of the sale, from the a part of that fees that we make of the sale is going back to Eden. So that's going to be part of our contribution back into the community through our governance process. The other avenue that we are expecting to earn from is from our advisory services. So we'll be providing them with all what we laid out before in terms of pushing the project forward and promoting them. And we expect to charge a fee for those services, either in advance or maybe success based, or if it's we'll find a good formula that can help the teams move forward, but it also provides us with a viable business model. And the last one is going to be more of an outreach initiative, which is going to be linked with our NFT strategy, that people who hold the TAR token get for different tiers, get some NFTs airdrop to their tokens from the teams, from different outlets that we're going to work with. And that is also going to promote the adoption of the TAR token as well as the investment tranches. So essentially, we do want the TAR token to be widely adopted and create this thriving, profitable, long-term investing community.
Great. Have you are you ready to announce any of the other team members that you've gotten on board at this time, or you want to hold off on that till a later date?
Well, I haven't thought out. We're not going to be an anonymous team. Here I am, with my face in the camera. So it's not going to be an anonymous team. We are going to announce all team members. I can say that I've been working a lot with Chris Barnes to help us to manage all the governance aspects. Without mentioning exact names, we already have a front-end developer, a smart contract developer. We're working with a community builder for the global community, for the Spanish community. We already have a lead project curator, and we're bringing in new advisors. And we are happy to welcome people who's got skills and you understand the space, and especially if you have a love for EOS and you believe that this is something we need. I'm going to take this opportunity to invite them to come over and join the team.
Great. So if you have any interest in promoting EOS mainnet to projects or promoting projects on EOS, reach out to Hernan, and we will put the link to this in this video to your Medium article, as well as any of your Twitter contact and other Telegram contact information and things like that. Thanks for taking the time to tell us about this. I think it's a great initiative. EOS desperately needs these sort of services and looking to thrive as a long-term EOS community member. I hope you guys succeed and succeed for the betterment of EOS.
Thank you very much for the interview, Cheney. You've been great, as usual. Giving out the hard questions. I think it's great. It's important to get a project out there with the community, and we want to be as transparent, as direct as possible. And yeah, thank you very much. I do believe that we are trying to solve what I consider a systemic risk, because at the end of the day, EOS is just as valuable as the things being built on top of it, right? That's what we are, right? We're a platform to build decentralized applications on top of. The tech is superb. The experience is great. We've been through battles. We've been battle tested. We've been through a muddy bear market. We've survived all the FUD and all the articles about, oh, this is a centralized scam and whatnot. And we're here, right? We're here. We're building. We're making more. And the only risk that I really see as a potential systemic risk for our community and our ecosystem right now is that, the lack of innovation, the lack of new people coming in and adopting it. So that's what I'm trying to solve, and that's what I'm inviting people to join us to solve together.
If you're not growing, you're dying. So let's keep growing. I
Yes.
appreciate it. Great job, Hernan.